My name is Ryan.
And
We are the Danish Literature Group.
so we will be discussing a piece of literature in Denmark.
The story is about The Pearls by Danish.
We will start off with a warm-up activity presentation about Denmark, the author, and the piece.
We will also be having an activity of the Danish morphosyntax and the literary analysis of the story.
So, sit back, relax, let us masturbate our minds and evaluate ideas.
Hi guys, this is Nick once again, and thank you for waiting. So before we dive into the topic, so we're going to stimulate your mind first. So we prepared some activity for you guys, warm-up activity. So it's a crossword puzzle. It's going to be easy. Just have to guess and get 10 words from this puzzle that is related to the topic, The Pearls by Danish. So that'll be 15 minutes. So let's start. Alright guys, time's up. So 15 minutes has already passed. So pass your paper in front of you, the facilitator, of course. And I hope you guessed the 10 words that is related to the topic. So let's proceed with our presentation from Angelica Segura. Roll in.
Hi, my name is Angelica Segura. So we are done with the warm-up activity. So we have some videos taken from YouTube so we can know the author Danish and the beautiful country of Denmark.
Denmark is a country in Northern Europe, the southernmost of the Nordic countries. It is southwest of Sweden and south of Norway and bordered to the south by Germany. Denmark is part of Scandinavia, together with Sweden and Norway. The Kingdom of Denmark is a sovereign state that comprises Denmark and two autonomous constituent countries in the North Atlantic Ocean, the Faroe Islands and Greenland. Denmark proper has an area of 43,094 square kilometers and a population of 5,699,220. The country consists of a peninsula, Jutland, and an archipelago of 443 named islands, of which around 70 are inhabited. The islands are characterized by flat, arable land and sandy coast, low elevation, and a temperate climate. From the 8th to the 10th century, the Danes, Norwegians, and Swedes were known as Vikings. They colonized, raided, and traded in all parts of Europe. Viking explorers first discovered Iceland by accident in the 9th century when heading for the Faroe Islands, and Norwegian Vikings eventually came across Vinland, or the Land of Wine, known today as Newfoundland in Canada. The Danish Vikings were most active in the British Isles and Western Europe. They conquered and settled parts of England under King Svein Forkbeard in 1013. Ireland and France were Danes and Norwegians, founded Normandy with Rollo as head of state. More Anglo-Saxon pens of this period have been found in Denmark than in England. Born to wealthy parents in Rungsted, Denmark, Dennison was 10 years old when her father committed suicide. Tutored at home by a series of governesses, she demonstrated an early aptitude for languages, drama, and art. In 1903, she entered the Royal Academy of Fine Arts in Copenhagen to study painting, a pursuit that influenced the intricate descriptive style of her fiction. Dennison left the academy a few years later and began writing. In 1907, she published her first tales in the Danish periodical Pilskveron under the pseudonym Osceola, the name of her father's beloved German shepherd dog. After a stay in France and later Italy, Dennison returned to Denmark and unexpectedly announced her engagement to her second cousin, Baron Rohr von Blixen-Finnick. In 1913, with advice and capital provided by Denison's family, Blixen journeyed to British East Africa and purchased a 6,000-acre coffee farm outside Nairobi, Kenya. After her marriage in 1914, Denison adjusted well to life in Africa, often going on safari with her husband and socializing with British aristocrats, who later inspired many of her fictional characters. In Africa, Denison's farm suffered numerous financial setbacks, and her family dismissed Blixen-Finnick and appointed Denison as the sole manager of what became known as the Karen Coffee Company. Eventually, the couple divorced. In 1918, Denison met Dennis Finch-Hatton, a free-spirited British pilot and hunter who became her lover and the primary audience for her tales. In 1931, after further financial problems, Denison auctioned the farm and later that year learned that Finch-Hatton had been killed when his plane crashed in Tanganyika. She returned to Denmark and began to write under the pseudonym Isaac Denison, which was a combination of her maiden name and the Hebrew word Isaac, meaning one who loves. In her later years, she became an icon of Danish literature, accepting younger authors in her home in Rungsted, Denmark, and giving public lectures, despite her fragile health. She died in 1962 from complications from syphilis, which she contracted from her husband early in their marriage.
You are done with the warm-up activity. Literary piece The Pearls by Isaac Denison was also presented, and you have virtually explored Denmark. Now let us maximize the experience by somehow learning the language of Denmark, which is the Danish language. This is the genealogy of the Danish language. If you are familiar with the German language, then you can observe some similarities with their lexicons. Danish and Swedish are cognates. The next few slides are videos that will help us in learning the Danish language. Please take note as to how the Danish constructs their sentences. Thank you for paying attention. Do you learn some helpful Danish words or phrases? Now let us check how you manage to familiarize the language. How do you say hello in Danish? Are you sure? Good. How about good evening? Sure. Good. Now, finally, I know you guys work this one out so well. So how do you say I love you in Danish? Tak. Well, that's thank you in Danish. And finally, I know you work this one out so well. So how do you say I love you in Danish? Great. You're doing good. I have instructed you lately to take note of the sentence construction in Danish language. I'd love to believe you did your test so well. I bet you're all ready to practice the Danish morphosyntax. At this moment, papers are distributed. Please get on it fast. Please listen carefully to the instruction. Write your name at the beginning portion at the back of your paper, the date today below your name. Now look at your paper. Into the box are words in English with its corresponding Danish equivalent. That is your guide. This is a time-bounded exercise. You'll be given 5 minutes to answer your paper. Remember, this is an individual test, so avoid disturbing your seatmates. Questions you would like to ask before hitting the timer. Is everything clear? Okay, timer starts now. Time's up. Pass your paper forward. Late papers will not be accepted at the countdown from 5. All papers must be in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for your usual participation. Prepare for the next presentator. Farewell!
The class tonight will be the literary piece, since we have known the author and the setting, which is Denmark. So the story has been uploaded in our Facebook group, and the activity will be like this. Please count, starting from the left, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So each group will be doing a different creative art. So it goes like this. You will have a picture, create a picture in a 1/4 illustration board. You can use charcoal, watercolor, pastel, or pencil to draw the picture. So the scene must be of utmost importance to the story since you will explain it later in the next meeting. So the criteria will be like this. Creativity is 10%, explanation is 10%, a total of 20% or 20 points for this activity. So just for a side note, no group shall have the same scene. Okay? So we go. Hello, good afternoon. Let's proceed to the next activity, the literary analysis. Please count 1 to 4 starting from right. Thank you. Okay, the group 1 will have the psychological approach. Group 2, you will have feminism approach. For group 3, you will have the moral philosophical. And last group will have the socio-historical. So, even though you are in groups, you will send your analysis via email. That's angelicasigara94@yahoo.com. You will have 500 words as maximum, and we won't impose strict format, so do well. So that's all for our group,
Thank you for your cooperation.
and we hope you enjoy your presentation.
For Sat Gadag, enjoy the rest of your day.
Farewell! My name is Angelica. My name is Gabe Daniel.
My name is Nate.
And my
And
name is
we-
Ryan. My name is Ryan.
And we are the Danish
Literature Report.
We will start off with a warm-up activity presentation.
The story is about Isaac.
So, sit back, relax, and... So, sit back, relax, and
Master the thing.
let us masturbate our minds and calculate ideas. Sit back, relax,
What's the game?
let us masturbate our minds and calculate ideas. Relax, let us masturbate our minds to ejaculate ideas. Okay na ba? Ay, makakasunod na to. Sige, last ang Ano, kumibag yun. O, dali ang ilis, oy. Dali ang ilis. Ato na, bye-bye. Dali ako.
Ayo oy.
Ano pa ko? Ato?
Iduniti diri bi.
Dili ka
Dili ka.
ano.
Idol-dol pud gamay sa ako. Uy, di ko
Ano
kaklaro.
po you enjoy the video?
Okay na ka, Jel?
We have no deodorant inside.
Ayo sige katawa ni ko. Ay,
Rosa.
asinos ito.
Sige na.
Pagdali, gawas ito. Sige na.